Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Rich. In this video I wanted to talk about the idea of essentially rules, but focus specifically on length of content, length of music. So I grew up in the 80s and 90s where we were still in the old ways of record labels and song form, etc., where it was the standard to do a 3-minute song. You know, and that's fine. And when I trained as a guitarist and we studied songwriting, it was like, okay, wait, this song's 2 minutes 30. You know, let's get this up to 3 minutes, that type of stuff. And during this, Blur had released Song 2, which I think was just over 2 minutes, and I absolutely loved it. And I thought, I just kept playing that song over and over and over and over and over again. Broke the rules, you know, the apparent rules. Then I discovered this record label called Fat Records. They did sort of punk music, and they used to release these sort of compendiums, which were like fat music for fat people. But they released this one which was called Short Music for Short People. And it was all my favourite punk and ska punk and pop punk bands releasing songs under a minute long. Some of them were 15 seconds. And I absolutely loved it. I loved it. We were still at this time where it was like 3 minutes plus, you know, and obviously rock bands back then, it was very common for rock bands to kind of do a 5-minute track, you know. Probably, especially post-rock, we're talking like 10 minutes, you know, Godspeed You Black Emperor, 25 minutes. So, I mean, they were breaking the rules the other way. And this was always sort of floating in my mind. So I'd record demos and they would be like 30 seconds long, 60 seconds long. Then I got into writing music for advertising, and advertising tracks are 30, 60 or 90 seconds long. So I loved that format. I loved this, like, well, it just has to be this long. And you know, actually sometimes a minute is all you need. 90 seconds is all you need. But again, this was on the back burner, and still then when I would write music, I'd show my friends like a 60-second piece of music. They'd be like, dude, your track's only like a minute long. Like, why is it so short? And I'm like, well, just because that's what I do. And still feeling like I was being told off because my tracks weren't long enough. Then short form content starts kicking in. And the whole playlisting, Spotify stuff starts kicking in. And we start to see the trends of shorter content, shorter music, snippets, demos, mood tracks. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Why do we have to stick to the rules? Why can't we just release music that's like 60 to 90 seconds long? And I know a lot of very successful musicians do. They release music that's like 1 to 2 minutes long. Every track. Nothing over 2 minutes. Or at least nothing over like 2 minutes 10. Essentially the track is finished by 2 minutes. And I think that is so admirable, because it's just being like, oh, okay, 3-minute rule, what? Why does it have to be 3 minutes? Why? It's that questioning the implied rule. Why does it have to be 3 minutes? Why does my video quality have to be good? You know, and yeah, there are some times where you're, okay, well, that's because I want to look like a professional. I want to look like my videos weren't recorded in the 80s with like a rubbish old camera, or, you know, or I want it to have that slope. If that is what you want, then that is fine. But what I am focusing on here is, why follow those rules unquestioningly? And it's really, really fascinating how you go, well, actually, I don't know why. You know, sometimes I'll play my songs back when I forced them to be 3 minutes. I'm like, oh, yawn. Why are we hearing this part again? And sometimes when you cut the tracks down, like verse, chorus, and that's it, you go, it finishes and you go, well, I want to hear that again. And that's what I think you want. You want to capture that feeling of excitement, of wanting more. And I think you also want to capture a mood, not a good mood, but a mood, a feeling, a vibe. I've talked about this before, like creating a vibe over creating a structured piece of music. For instance, you could just have a track that is just this. Just that for like just over a minute. Maybe you can have like a kind of like a whispering pad over the top. But why can't you do that? Who's saying you can't? And if that is what you want to make, you do that. In fact, I just recorded a song idea based around this this little story of this morning, which is where I dropped the kids off at school and I drove to the gym, and at the gym there's a lady there who practices her ballet routine. It's a usual gym, so everyone's on the weight machine or, on the treadmill, and she's there sort of running along the length of the gym, sort of skipping, hopping and stuff. And I think, like, huge respect, because she's just doing her thing. It's like blazing a path. Yeah, okay, it's not wild what she's doing, but it's not what you expect. You don't expect someone to be practicing ballet at a gym. You think, well, they must be going to a dance studio. That's where people do dancing. This is gym, so you do gym things. And it's the same with music. Well, this is a song. It should be 3 minutes long, and it should have a verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, chorus. That's the done thing. And it doesn't have to be. What matters is that you find the creative expression that feels right for you. Because that is the way that you're going to stand out. And it's not, we don't have to stand out, but that is the way that you're going to, even if you're like writing, I don't know, 3-chord pop punk songs like Green Day, for example, or Blink-182, even if you're kind of fitting in a niche, that's where you go, that's rich. I know that writing style. Oftentimes that comes through in the vocals, like the style of the singer is the fingerprint of the music, but it can be the style or the length of your track. Oh, that track was short. Who was that? Oh, it was Rich. I'm not saying, I think there is a limit with distribution. I don't think you can release a song under 30 seconds. Like Parry Grip, lead singer of Nerf Herder, again, one of my favourite pop punk bands from the 90s, happens to have written some of my kids' favourite music. What's it called? All I can think of is Nachos from Space. It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Some of his songs are like just over 30 seconds long, and they are awesome. A brilliant songwriting. And they finish and I go, great, let's hear some more. It's kind of a genius way to approach it. And I'm not suggesting that you have to do short songs. You might be of the ilk that likes to produce 12-minute epics, and that's fine. What I'm trying to say is, don't write a piece of music to a certain length because the length is telling you to. Do what the music is telling you to do. If it's calling to continue in some way, let it continue. If it's calling to end, let it end. There is a part of me watching the clock being like, can I get this to 10 minutes? Mostly because I kind of think to myself, well, 10 minutes seems like a good number, but just to break the rules, I'm going to stop this before it hits 10 minutes. But I want you to consider that. The length of your tracks, do they need to be as long as you think they need? Can you just let them be the length they need to be, whether that's 30 seconds or 10 minutes? Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. You are awesome, and I've got 15 seconds left.